That guy is just, he's kind of a freak of nature.
With Kyle being number one in the world, you kind of want to go after him a little bit harder, give him some competition. You don't want to get embarrassed too bad. That's what's scary about Kyle is his speed he puts up, because he can miss hit a ball and still be 222, 225. So, I mean, you're going against somebody that their miss hits are about as fast as your PR. So you got to be on your game when you face him.
When I tell all my buddies, it's like, dude, when I'm hitting next to Kyle, I'm hitting against the best to ever live. And that's arguable, but in my opinion, he's the best to do it.
I do want to compete against him and, you know, gain some respect from him, of course.
There's 8 billion people on the planet right now, and he's number one. So how often you get to say you get to compete against, you know, number one out of 8 billion?
Join us as we go behind the scenes with one of the faces of long drive, Kyle Berkshire, following the number one ranked competitor in the world through an entire weekend at the grid. This is World Long Drive on tour. Mesquite, Nevada is home to the third stop of the 2023 World Long Drive Tour. Kyle Berkshire is one of the 16 golfers that will compete in Group 3 of the Open Division, but arrives early to watch the competition and prepare for his 12:30 start time.
Currently watching three-man playoff for 2 spots, and the wind's kicked up, so it's going to be huge. We need to get the ball high in the air with a cut. Landon just hit a huge ball. That's the shot he needs. It's also good to come down here because I'm getting a lot of information on like the grid and what's rolling out, what's not rolling out. So right now I know a mid-ball flight, 180 feet, small movement. If any movement you want to be left to right with this wind, those are giving you big numbers. So it's good to watch some of these shots before you start warming up. That fourth ball was pretty tasty. Yeah, you just getting.
It's time for Berkshire to head to the practice grid. While he is the world's number one long driver, he's in search of his first tournament win of the season.
His last 4 tournaments he hasn't won, and I know that's a long stretch for him. Since 2019, I feel like he wins every other tournament, you know, that's been on this planet.
He's still in the throes of, although he's completely recovered from his bone fracture and surgery last year during the championships. It would be good for him to win again here. I think he would like very much for that to happen. We all would. Not everybody here would, but his good circle would.
I know he's going to be hungry coming into this tournament this week, and wouldn't be surprised if he's there late to get another W. You know, if he doesn't make it to the Final 4, the Final 2, it's honestly a shock. And I don't know if that necessarily applies to anybody else.
He has that championship air about him. Being secondary or being incomplete is not good enough at all.
All right, so I got just about a little over an hour. As it's been for a long time, given my world rank at number one, I'm always the number one seed and everything. So it goes, I'm in the first set of the first group and then in the 4th set of the second group. So I have a 7-set wait, which is typically about 35 minutes. So I always have to think about that. But I'm in the first set. So I tee off in an hour and 4 minutes. I typically like to get my body loosened up just about an hour before I start hitting, just to give my body some time to limber up. So that's gonna be very important. So I'm headed over to the dock right now, having him work on me, and we're gonna get loosened up. I'm gonna start hitting in about 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and slowly get warmed up. And with this wind right now, I gotta be honest, we literally might run out of grid. If someone hits the right shot, the grid's about 460, 465, and might not be enough. So we'll have to see how that goes. But you know, I love coming back to this place. It's where I won my 2nd world title. It's a really great spot. I sometimes wish there were a few more people living in the general populace so we get more people out here. But as far as the grid goes, it's about as fair as it gets. So we want fairness above everything. So just really excited to get going. It's gonna be a lot of fun. The adrenaline, man. You know, it's like gambling or anything that makes you excited. You get excited about the feeling. You know, we're always chasing feelings. We're not chasing anything else. That's the thing. The core of it is we want to feel a certain way. And, you know, I feel a certain way when I'm here competing, and that's why I love doing it, you know. It's time to get some work done on my body, get loose, start getting limbered up. And I'll take you guys a little bit through getting loose, getting up to speed. You're gonna have to obviously pull this mic once I get really going. Take you guys through a little bit of this so you guys can get an inside look at what goes into getting ready. Hang on, let me help out.
Go away, Kyle.
I take it you did pretty good?
Good enough.
That's all that matters.
Good enough.
You're chasing some pretty big balls there. You need to hit up Bobby Ray and swap shirts again. Do the jersey swap.
We will.
I want you guys to get into a Final 8 match together on TV and do that thing. Do that. Swap jerseys. What are they going to do?
I think it's a must.
They're not going to stop you.
No.
Dude, this is some big balls today, man.
It's not getting hard.
I can get up to like a +3 maybe at my best in the winter, but I always fall back to like a scratch or a 1 in the summer because I can never practice with that 1. How close did you come to making it? Those are always brutal, dude. I'll tell you what, that is just, there's so many stories of heartbreak in the sectionals, man.
He hit a shot I'll never forget. At like 15 or something, it was one of the closing holes of water or something, I forget. We might start in the front or the back. It hit a flag stick and ricocheted like 30 yards into a sand trap, and it took a double. If that didn't hit the flag stick and he just two-putted from wherever it ended up, he would have been in. Well, dude, the crazy thing, he's made it through sectionals 7 times. I mean, 2 sectionals. So I can't even imagine. Ooh. I bet you heard that one.
So I would always get this work done once in a while, but I'm a stout believer in this now because at Worlds last year, I had him work on me 4 days in a row throughout the event. I went from 224 ball speed on day 1 to 231 on day 4. And I'm sure if it was 5 or 6 days, I would have been at 240 within a couple more days.
I think a lot of it's just freeing your hips up.
Well, and the big thing is it's injury prevention, you know? That's one of the biggest lessons I've learned is taking care of yourself. Because it all adds up. Might not seem like it when you're young. This is a side of the sport a lot of people don't see because, you know, I always get questions, oh, his back's gonna be out by it's funny, when I was 22 or 3, the comments were, his back's gonna be out by 25, and now that I'm 26, his back's gonna be out by 30, and I'm sure it'll keep going up. But the way I would like to explain it is, if you don't do these things, it will go out. This is how you take care of your body. There's certain things you have to do. And if you don't, your body's just not gonna it's gonna give out eventually. The way I like to look at it is that everything we do is cumulative. So if you abuse your body, you might not feel it when you're younger, but you're gonna feel it as it adds up. So if you have low impact on your body throughout that process of your career, you can last a very long time. Good job. Whoa, it's good to see you here, man. How you been?
How are you? Good to see you.
There's something else. I'll do the supplemental work just to make sure everything's loosened out, because one of the most painful things to get is spasms, and when you're in dry desert air, you can have a lot of water sapped from you quickly if you're not careful, and you start getting spasms, and I promise you guys, spasms don't sound that bad, but if you've ever had one, it will put you on the ground. I've had them and they're horrible. So I like to get my muscles loose so that they don't knot up as easily. So it's kind of my main thing here. I do this religiously before every single practice session. I'll lift up one leg versus the other to activate different muscles so that they get the main brunt of it. Hamstrings I always have to focus on because the most liable muscle for me to cramp on is hamstrings. Don't know why, just how my body's built. So I always make sure to hit them on all angles. And I actually had a minor cramp right here in my oblique, so still, it's pretty much gone away, but I'm still making sure I hit it pretty hard. One last thing I like to do is have my shoulders are opened up. I'll lay on this like this and have it all the way on up here. Do T's, W's, and Y's to open up the shoulder sockets. And just really try to let that sink. Do Y's, let it sink down again. And then W's. And just keep that pressure on the lower back as well. Next thing we'll do is pop the TrackMan because it's always fun. It's good to see your numbers because gives you an idea of what balls are doing well in what conditions. So I also do some circles and stuff like that. You know, just I don't do it all the time, but I just want to make sure everything feels limber and loose. Look at that, right in time, 11:45, right when I want to start hitting. So looking good. And I'll take you guys through getting loose. Probably gonna cut it off at around 12 so that I can get dialed in the last 30 minutes of my warm up. So, but I typically hit about 20 balls at lower effort, just to give my body even more time to get loose. Now, do you have that worn out head? And I'm also gonna get loose with a head that's pretty worn out, so that I don't put any hits on the ones I'm gonna use in competition. Get 14 of those on the golf course, that'll do pretty good. First swing of the day, 139, 204, 370 carry, so it's exactly what we wanna see. And we'll just keep getting loose as we go. As I said, I typically take about 20 swings. I don't try to swing a certain, all I try to do is just swing at a certain percentage level these first 20. I never try to force my body to go faster than it wants to, so that way I can warm up safely. So that was 144 club speed. We'll probably be at 150 in a couple swings. But then from there, it's just grooving it and getting my feel for the day. This ball's going far today. So getting close to being up to speed. I'm about 10 shots in, sitting right around 152, 220. Probably once I start getting more ramped up, I'll dial it up to the mid to high 220s and we'll be in business. All right, guys, I'll hit one more for you guys. We're about 25 balls in, sitting in the low 220s. Get some good balls. It's time to go. Need a couple of those today. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed following along for that. It's time to go to war.
64 guys enter battle. 32 will survive today. 1 man will win tomorrow. But we got the 2019 and 2021 world champion Kyle Berkshire in slot number 1. Kyle coming out of the blocks here. This one's OB left, but 224 mile per hour. The fastest ball speed we did see this morning was from Sebastian Twiddell, who was in complete control of his tempo and timing, and Berkshire just trying to get a number on the board. 220, 219 right down the middle, 2,300 spin, 211 in height. This is going to be a big number. Wouldn't be surprised to see the longest ball of the day. Well, here it is, 415 is the start. So that's the number currently, is 415 yards. Did Kyle hit it 364 or 464? I'm confused.
We'll wait for the line to see what this number is.
Well, it's not like it's a surprise if he does go 464.
Since I'm mathematically through to the round of 32, and it really doesn't matter what place I finish in the top 8, we're gonna mic me up for the next 2 sets. We're gonna have a little fun. Give you guys an inside look at the actual competition live as it's happening. So we're gonna have a lot of tailwind. Hopefully we're gonna run out of grid. I'm on deck. I hit it in about 2-3 minutes. I'm gonna hit a few more warm-up balls. We're gonna send it. 20-mile-an-hour tailwinds right now. I'm hoping this holds for the next 4 or 5 minutes for my set. I'm already in, as I said, so I'm just gonna let it rip. No holding back, no reason to, just have a little fun. And we'll see how far we can put it out there.
We're watching Kyle Berkshire in slot number 4 right now. He made an adjustment with his feet to hit a little bit of a block, and he ended up going 448. So, I mean, it's just like things like that, being a veteran of the sport, to be able to make those changes.
Yeah, it's huge. Yeah, you really need to know the conditions, and you need to be aware of what's going on around you. It's quite hard.
Berkshire with that cut. That's the one that he was looking for. That one's in play. That one looks good.
Oh, I'm going to go a B twice. I don't care. I mean, I'm going to try to hit it in play, but this head, the odds of hitting in play are almost 0. Did you get me on that last one?
No, that one was dry.
That's all you got?
No, I whiffed them all, Kyle. You're lucky.
To the final 32-4.
At least it's not boiling hot right now. Sorry, but hey, I actually hit balls in play with you calling now. Isn't that awesome?
The ball flight today is left to right. It's been like that on this grid forever. Just going based off of ball speeds. I mean, Kyle was 217 and ended up going 6 yards farther with a cut than his 225 that he yelled at. So, like I said, this ball tells a story. All these guys were in, so they were just getting some swings in. But Berkshire with the longest drive at 449 yards.
I mean, we got through just 2 heads, you know. Feels good. So, I mean, the heads are a little flat, but that's okay. I have plenty of heads to use that are not flat, but I just use them so I wouldn't burn the other heads for tomorrow. For me, it's a couple of things. I want to make sure that I don't burn any heads that I really like. So I'm kind of hitting heads that I don't like right now, or are flat. So it's all about managing the next day. And if I hit one in, that's fun. But you got to manage a lot. This is a long game. It's not about winning every set. So I have one more set. I'm already mathematically through. But I'm going to try to give 6 good rips at it, hit as hard as I can. We'll see what happens. But I'm already thinking about tomorrow.
All right, we're finished through 3 groups: Kyle Berkshire, Zach Holden, Mark Costello, Hunter Knoll, Brandon Flynn, Glenn Wilson Jr., Jim Waldron, and Andrew Eigner are going to advance. We will be back at 2:30 Pacific Standard Time with the final group. 16 more guys are going to fight for 8 spots. 24 men are on to day number 2 will be back right after this.
The tournament really gets crazy tomorrow. That's when we're going to want to bring it. So just want to stay rested, stay confident, stay relaxed, and get some good sleep and come at it harder tomorrow. That's all you got to do.
Kyle Berkshire here with us in the booth.
Hey, Kyle.
Hey, it's going.
All right, we got 116 people on right now. How'd you feel?
I felt pretty good. Just trying to manage my energy a little bit. Was able to get to 600 points pretty quickly, and then I was able to have a little fun. Yeah, felt pretty good. Really windy. I had to start switching up what I was using for my tee because of the ball oscillating on the tee box.
Yeah.
But it was fun. Felt pretty good. And it's really just getting set up for tomorrow.
That was the fastest I seen you in the first set.
Yeah.
I know a lot of the guys like you that can push 235, 240. You kind of throttle back the first, because this is a marathon, and seeing it with like Craig Knoll and JJ, they were like 215, 220. Even Seb Twiddell did it today, but
yeah.
He came out of the blocks, like 225, 227, swinging. It was a different strategy.
Was fun to see.
Yeah, was it a different strategy because you only had 30 balls today, or like what was the strategy?
I think it was a different strategy because we were on the tee box for like 5 minutes, and I was all pent up and ready to go.
Especially in a tournament like this that's very windy.
How did I hit my hair?
How do you keep your hair out of your eyes?
I don't. I just hit with it in. I think when it's into the wind, it's a lot tougher because like when you turn, that's when the hair kind of comes into my eyes. If it's really that bad, I'll tuck it into my shirt.
I like that.
So that's how I've done it. And I've actually had to learn how to do that with golf as well.
Use that. I think you just changed the game for women's golf.
Yeah, don't need to put the hair up anymore. You can just tuck it in your shirt.
Tuck it in the shirt.
That's a wrap for day 1. Berkshire's on to Saturday's round of 32. It's a bright and early start for Berkshire on day 2 as he hunts for a spot in the top 16.
It's a big group here. I think one of the main people that we're focused on is our world number 1 right now, Kyle Berkshire, who had a really fun day. He just brought his personality out there, had a few big sets, and then went on to kind of figure out his game plan for today.
Yeah, we talked last night. I mean, he came out of the gate swinging. A lot of guys have different strategies starting off when knowing that the guys that are the fastest guys on the planet take a little bit of a different strategy, knowing that this is more of a marathon than a sprint. But Kyle came out of the gates in set number 1 and putting up 225, 227 ball speed. Wonder what his game plan is today as we're keying in on Mr. Berkshire, the 2019 world champion and 2021 world champion, current world number 1.
He's been on this grid many a times, and it's one that's definitely set up for him.
I would say 390 is going to be a good start to the day.
398.
There we go. 398 from Kyle Berkshire. There's no wind. Yesterday, wind was a humongous factor. And to start off with a 398 ball with essentially no wind is good. But right now, Kyle Berkshire is going to take down this set, it looks like, at 398.
Berkshire cruises through to the round of 16 with his sights set on cracking the top 8.
I didn't really feel like I hit it very good today. I felt a little flat, to be honest, but fortunately I was still flighting the ball well, and I was able to hit it pretty good. Between now and the round of 16, I'm going to try to get some rest. One of my issues has been adjusting to these longer tournaments, so I'm a little flat. Didn't really come out of the gates with the speed I wanted, so I got to figure out a way to make some adjustments. The good thing is I'm flighting it well, and I'm hitting it okay. Just got to get a little more speed and get back to where my normal speeds in the upper 220s instead of lower 220s, and I should be all right. I just watch to see what my shots are doing and making sure that the spins I'm hitting are correlating to the distances they should, and in this case I'm doing a good job of maximizing my speed and optimizing my flight. So I feel pretty good about how I'm hitting it. I think I had tied for the longest drive of the day and was pretty consistently in the upper 390s, so it's not too bad. There's definitely a few improvements I want to make before I go into the round of 16, but it does feel good to kind of coast into the round of 16, even though I didn't feel like I had my best stuff. Hopefully I'll be saving it for later. I've won here a couple times, and it'd be number 18 for me, which would be nice. I'm getting closer to 20. So it's always a big deal to win a tournament. It's never easy. So it would be nice because the tournament in Florida was definitely a tough one to swallow. In that battle with Justin James, and thought I had it and just didn't get the rollout I needed. So it'd be nice to kind of get some payback and take this one home, and get a win early in the season is always good.
I mean, right now it's important to get balls in play. Every single set counts. I mean, we've seen guys lose by 25 points, 50 points, and getting balls in play is critical, because right now these guys are going to press a little bit just because you're going up against the fastest dudes in the world. So Now Kyle Berkshire with a big sweeping hook here down that left side. If that one stays in play, that should be okay. 221 ball. A lot of movement though. A lot of movement. That's over a 40-yard drop. Kyle just needs to keep one in play here. That's the farthest carry I've seen so far in the last like 15 minutes, 20 minutes. And I said those 2 last balls, what Kyle probably wishes he had in every single of those sets. Those were nice strikes right there from 2-time world champ.
Still waiting on one more ball, but the field is set.
Yep. Zach Colton, Seb Twiddell, Sam Judah, Josh Koch, Bryce Verplank, Mark Costello, Justin James, and Sean Johnson. Kyle Berkshire with a 419 on his last ball. Colton Castro is going to take down that set.
Berkshire comes up just short and will not advance to the Mesquite Volume 2 top 8.
Bottom in, I hit it terrible, and I don't deserve to make the final 8, and that's just the best way I can say it. Is I mishit a lot of balls, didn't make the necessary adjustments, so something I got to work on for the next event.
He shakes it off. He's a true professional. He's number 1 in the world for a reason.
He wants to be the best. He wants to work to be the best. And if it takes more work, it's not a problem. He wants to find out what it takes to be the best.
He doesn't get flustered. He stays within his game plan.
He's still world number 1, and it's going to take a lot of wins from guys to knock him off that pedestal. He's going to regroup. He's a professional, and I see Kyle winning multiple tournaments this year.
I think as any athlete would say after a poor performance, there's a lot of questions, not a lot of answers. So I got to go back to the drawing board and maybe review some old footage and see what I was doing that I might not be doing now, and just process of elimination, do my best to clean it up and we'll go from there. Hopefully next time we're talking, it'll be in the winner's circle.
The one thing that the best athletes on the planet do is they make adjustments when they don't have their best. And a lot of times these guys not at their best are still making final 8s. I expect Martin Borgmeyer and Kyle Berkshire to get a lot of wins this year.
When he is in his work, in his competitive mode, it is like a train coming down the track. Don't get in the way, but help it get down the track. And that's what he's very good at blowing that whistle coming down the track.
The focus for Berkshire shifts to LaSalle, Colorado, where the world's top long driver will look for his first tournament win of the year.